Let's do this. It's a music. Welcome to the King Moolah TV podcast, y'all. Welcome. Yeah. Always. Listen, y'all, and listen well.
King Moolah.
Today's topic, dang, my bad. But today's topic, talk about the music industry and who should control the music industry. The straightforward answer is musicians, because we have the talent, we have everything that we need, to push the industry forward. Now, I do understand the business side of things. There is a business side to all these things in every industry, music, entertainment industry. There's the business side to where those accountants and then those lawyers and financial experts try to get involved, or certain CEOs and stuff like that want to get involved, want to invest. If you want to invest truly, stop trying to take control of it. You can get your cut to help propel us forward, but you're not going to control, or you're not going to take our music and then try to sell it back to us, or you're not going to put us in these horrible 360 deals that do not benefit us at all, and we have to reach a certain requirement of sales or of number of albums, or if we took an advance, that we'd have to pay that advance back, and we have to make sure that all the things that we do is successful enough to be able to pay that advance back. So y'all can take y'all cut. If you really want to invest in musicians, CFOs, CEOs, and everybody in between with them, what you need to do is do not own their music. Every artist should own their masters. This is the music that we send out to the world for all ears to hear, to listen, and to love. It should not be controlled by anybody that isn't the musician themselves, the band, the group, or family or relatives that are trusted relatives, or any trusted individuals or people or groups with that. There should be no type of conflict with that. And many artists have ran into conflict not being independent and going through the industry, going to these record labels and having really bad deals, only because they have such distributing powers. Like, they're very good at distributing music and stuff like that, and have whole departments banking on that. But at the end of the day, if the artist gets a really bad deal, you're not actually benefiting the artist. Like, I remember hearing something about TLC. It's a very notable group in the 90s. They were basically getting $50K for their music when they had an album. I'm sure $50K a year, that's like a year's average person's yearly salary. And this is TLC bringing a lot of hits into the world, musical hits into the world. So how are you gonna do that, right? How you got people who are making chart topping music and then they're making an average person's salary? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not saying that they should definitely have way more money than they would ever need, but they need their money. And the deals that they got, it wasn't really sustainable for their lifestyle. And that's what I'm saying. Here's another thing. You're living below your means and living above your means. They wasn't even living above their means. They were living below their means. Probably more than, no, they're living below the lifestyle they were given. I'm gonna say it like that. They were living below the lifestyle they were given because they're famous and they were doing tours, and I'm sure they were doing tours and stuff like that and promotion and all of that, but they aren't really settled with the amount of money that they should have been making. Now, if they were getting like what, $100K, $200K an album or something like that, then that's fair. I'm gonna just say that's fair. I think that's very livable if you're doing it right. I think a lot of people just kind of live way above there. A lot of artists who've taken these deals, even though they're prominent artists, they live in way above their means or way above the lifestyle that they were given, but not actually making the money that maintains that lifestyle. I think that's a really big problem. So I think absolutely these people need to be controlling how much money they're actually getting. They can cut distribution deals and stuff like that, and they can get, if they get in advance, of course they should pay it back, but there should be no reason why they don't own their music, or that the CEOs or all these other record labels are actually making more money than the actual artists themselves. It just makes no sense. The artists themselves have to make the money. They have to, this is their life. They need to be making they need to be making the money that the CEOs be making. Or maybe, I don't know, I actually don't know the numbers, so I'm not even going to try to bring it up. I'm not going to act like I know it. I don't. But I know they weren't slouches. I know the the CEOs of those record labels, they weren't slouches. And they continuously sign artists and kind of shelve them. But that's a different topic for a different day. Well, actually, no. It might be on brand. If they are controlling basically the way the music industry is, the newer artists who are being shelved by signing to them, they should definitely be getting a lot more shine. Because there's some good artists out there that aren't getting shine if they shelve themselves, and they've pretty much just kind of been put in the back burner of these record labels, and then are worrying more about bigger artists. They're worrying about a lot of the bigger artists. So I do think that those musicians should definitely go independent, because I wouldn't advise those to really be doing any deals with any record labels unless they're distribution deals to where you come out on top. Musician, as an artist, as a creative, you need to come out on top in those deals. You just need to. That's what needs to change in the music industry. Musicians, artists, creatives need to control the music industry, not lawyers, not accountants, not CEOs of record company labels or anything like that, unless they're rappers or unless they're former artists. Unless they are former artists, like, let's say if Rihanna decided to go back into the music industry, if she was managing newer artists, I would see that. I think that's fair. I think she should definitely be doing that. Honestly, she doesn't have to drop another album again, and she should be doing something like that. I really do think she should be. And even Jay technically is kind of doing that as well. He did that for J. Cole. And J. Cole's also doing that as well. Kendrick, he with PG Lang is also doing that, but he's not really managing. Well, no, he is probably gonna manage like newer artists and stuff like that. But they're gonna have their complete creative control, and then they're just gonna take a cut, and it's just gonna be like that. So I think that's the new that's exactly how the music industry should change, by with in that dynamic, in those ways. That's exactly what we need. That's exactly how it should get it. That's exactly how it should be done. Actually, that's exactly how it should be done. These former artists need to be able to do that. These former artists needs to be able to, the former artists absolutely should be the forefront of the music industry, and in the back as well. They should be handling all the business. All the artists who are established for sure should be giving the newer artists a chance to higher exposure, and teaching them the ways of the business so that they don't get screwed around by these shark infested. Well, I don't even want to say shark infested. That's such bias towards shark. But these predatory record labels, and these executives and CEOs, just that predatory nature in that music industry. And it's also spread across other parts of the entertainment industry, but specifically talking about the music industry, especially with artists that are conscious, especially with artists that make conscious music, especially artists that want to make positive music rather than negative, hypersexualized music that we've seen in the music industry. And I am talking about pop, hip hop, pop and hip hop, R&B as well. Because those honestly need to, they need that. They need the balance. There's nothing wrong with talking about something negative as long as it's not being glorified. It needs to be said. The story needs to be put out there, but it does not need to be oversaturated with a whole, like 700 artists saying the same thing. We don't need that. We need positivity. We need that balance. We need people to understand there's good, bad, there's positivity, and there's negativity, and it's usually all about perspective anyways, but still, there should not be an oversaturation in negativity and hypersexualization and, toxic behavior and, murder. That's insane. So I think, absolutely, that's how it should be set up. With that, all that to say is, musicians, we need to get to this. We need to get to this immediately. I think it's important to be independent, but absolutely. Once we get independent, once there's enough independent people doing well in the music industry, that it'll change. Instead of people looking for 360 deals or bad deals from these record labels and other stuff, I think we're going to go in a better direction. For sure. And then and also the audience not feeding into the hyper negativity with the hypersexualization, the drug music, the trap music, and all that. Big step towards something better. Okay, like I said, just needs to be a balance. There just should not be too negative. I don't even want to say it can't be too positive, because we never seen that. We never seen a too positive movement to where it's just like, okay, everything's just happy. It's like nobody's going through anything. Never seen that. It's always been people going through stuff. But now it's more so glorified with people doing bad things. So that's what we need to look out for. All right. That being said, drink your water. Okay, hydration is very, very important. So drink your water, okay? The sun outside feels great. It is 85 degrees. It was 85 degrees when I first checked it, and I went outside. It didn't even feel like 85 degrees. It was I loved how the sun felt on my skin. It was beautiful. If you got that out there, if it's not snowing anymore, I don't think it should be. It's spring. But if it is, dietary supplements, vitamin D. And if you got the sun, go out there. Take a walk, please. Just take a walk. Very, very helpful and very, very good for your body. And also, be kind to people. Just say hello, say hi. Stop being so negative and stop being so rude. Just stop being so, yeah, just rude. You don't have, it's not to say that you have to say something all the time, especially if you got things going on, but just say hi. You don't know, you never know if it'll make you feel better. Just being kind to somebody takes steps towards this being a better place to live. All right? All right, so yeah. I'm King. It's King Moolah TV podcast, y'all. I'm out of here.